So first of all, thank you for the opportunity. And now moving into your first question. The Ritz-Carlton Kyoto, it's a luxury hotel from an international luxury brand, which is Ritz-Carlton, which is one of the brands within the Marriott portfolio. We were, and attention to this statement, we were the first international luxury hotel in Kyoto, meaning that there was luxury before us, but we were the first out of the numerous luxury operators now in Kyoto from the international brand scene. And this was almost 10 years ago, back in February 2014. We are a small to mid-sized hotel, and we focus on providing obviously luxury hospitality and luxury service, but we want to do it from a localized perspective in terms of the service. So we often refer to our service as the omotenashi. So this is again, from a service standpoint, and talking about our guests is crucial, but it's very linked to the way that we, as Ritz-Carlton, operating in Japan with the omotenashi service, how do we look into our ladies and gentlemen? Ritz-Carlton has a very strong culture in terms of and Marriott for that matter, in terms of looking after our associates. There is a very famous quote from Mr. Marriott, the founder of the company, that used to say, look after the associates so they can look after the guest. And this is still, and even these days, is even more relevant, right? So the way that we look into our ladies and gentlemen, and as our company culture states, they are the most important resource in our commitment to our guests. So the way I and the organization looks at it, it's that we need to ensure that we create the right work environment, and that we create the platform for our ladies and gentlemen to feel comfortable and to feel well about themselves and about their day, so they can perform at their best, they can shine with our guests. So that's an overall idea of how we look into it. So I would divide this in two. The first one would be perhaps the full-time employees that are foreigners, and I am one of them, right? Now, when we look into recruitment, we do not necessarily differentiate. We don't put our applicants in two buckets. We look at it in a very holistic manner, and we want to ensure that we recruit the best. Obviously, and for certain positions, there are certain skills needed. And with the domestic market being extremely important to us, obviously the skills in the Japanese language are extremely important, and hence, for certain positions, the language is essential, right? But for some others, it's not. And in that sense, we do not differentiate. I am the general manager and I am a foreigner. There has been a general manager in this hotel prior that was Japanese. So that doesn't make much of a difference, the nationality. I do believe that we need to respect the local culture and traditions. I think there has to be a strong understanding of the local culture and traditions. Hence, obviously, the main core of the ladies and gentlemen are Japanese. But I also do believe that foreigners can bring experience and can bring different point of views, and that can only make us stronger. Now, that's on the full-time employees. Then there is another component on the international workers that is related to internships. And we are strong believers in internships, in both domestic and international, right? So every year we take on board a group of ladies and gentlemen that they do internships. You know, sometimes it's for a month and they go all the way up to 6 months. And we look at this from a human capital point of view. We look at this as an investment. We do spend the time and the effort to teach them how we do things with the hope that they will enjoy hospitality and they will choose it as a career, and with the extended hope that some of them will want to come back and work for us. So this is how we look at it. This is a good question because globalization is now a fact. The world is very interconnected, and it has become very or much easier than it was in the past to travel and to not only for leisure but also to be exposed abroad, right? There are many more international students that choose to take internships in universities or to do cross exposures and do one year of their studies abroad, right? So this is a reality, and I think it's good. I think, as I said before, having more foreigners in any market can only make the culture stronger. At the end of the day, we are an international brand, and we cater to both domestic and international markets. But having that component of international visitors, the fact that we have certain nationalities working in the hotel can only make us stronger, right? Who doesn't feel homesick sometimes as a guest, right? And to have somebody from your own country working in that hotel creates that bond, right? And that feeling of connection. So, or having a lady or a gentleman that understands your needs, your cultural needs, right? Or your food restrictions, or so that can only make us stronger. Hence, I'm a strong believer in this, and this is why, as I said before, we choose to work with international and domestic interns on a yearly basis, and I think it's quite a successful partnership. I think studying abroad or working abroad, it's actually an opportunity. I understand that it might not be for everyone, but from my personal experience, I did work abroad from a young age, and I have developed my career mainly abroad, right? So I find it very enriching, both personally and culturally. If we talk about Kyoto itself, both myself and my family, we love it. We think that it's an extraordinary city to live in, and that has a great balance in between culture, nature, tranquility, food offer, and it's a place that we enjoy very much as a family. My view on this, for those considering coming to Kyoto to study, is that, as I said, it's an exceptional opportunity. And then once here, whoever chooses to come can make the decision at a later stage whether they like the place or they don't. But as I said, we are personally in love with the city, the culture, and the way of living. We enjoy it very much, so I cannot recommend it enough to potential students. Then, as I said, the second step, the one of choosing to stay, is very personal, right? We all have different drives and different interests, and it might not suit everybody. It suits me. That is what I can tell you.
第一線でお客様にサービスをしていただくポジションに入っていただきます。はい。例えばですけど、正面玄関で、一番最初にお客様をお迎えするゲストサービスっていう部署であったりとか、あとはイタリアンであるとか、和食ですねのレストランのサーバーなど、はい、いろんな多岐にわたるお仕事があるんですけれども、ちょっとユニークなものがお客様とそうですね、一緒にサイクリングとかをして京都市内を案内するみたいな仕事もあります。皆さんとても真面目に働いてくれています。それぞれもちろん個性はあるとは思うんですけど、皆さん自分のやりたいビジョンをしっかり持ってらっしゃるかなというふうに感じています。はい。なのでただ働く上ではそれだけではなくて、ぜひ日々の仕事を楽しんでやっていただきたいなというふうに考えています。はい、お客様と会話をしていっていただいて、最初は多分覚えることたくさんで、そういったところに余裕はないかもしれないんですけど、お客様と交流する上でどんどん関係性を育んでいただいて、この人がここになくてはならないという存在にぜひなっていただきたいなと思っています。 そうですね、目の前のお客様に対してどうやったらこう喜んでいただけるだろうっていうことを真剣に考えて行動できるという人材を求めています。はい、あとはそうですね、留学生の方とお話しすると先ほども申し上げたようにやはりこういうふうにキャリアを積んでいきたいっていうふうに考えてらっしゃる方すごく多いと思うんですけれども、それに加えてなぜここで働かなくてはいけないのかっていうところをそうですね、このホテルじゃないととかこの場所でないとっていうのを考えてぜひこうアピールしていただければと思います。もしこちらで働いていただくことになって例えば自分の出身の国のお客様がいらっしゃった時というのはいい関係を築けるチャンスだと思います。はい、言語だけでなくて文化であるとかっていうのはやっぱり理解が同じ国の方だとできると思うので、お客様からあなたがいたから助かったすごく良かったって言ってもらえるようなそんなサービスをしていっていただきたいと思います。はい、ここで働くことでですねサービスのプロフェッショナルとして、はい、誇りを感じていただければなと思います。